I tell you, Drudge Report just absolutely loves us now. We've had 3 links in the last 3 days. We got 2 up there at the Drudge Report over on the right-hand side, drudgereport.com. I mean, every time he links, we get like 1 million extra hits, viewers, visits. It's amazing. It says, Stop the New World Order. And he's got the great Charlie Skelton articles from the London Guardian, the biggest newspaper in Europe and England. Bilderberg 2010, Between the Sword and the Wall. Protesters being detained, searched, grilled. And then final list of participants. And then we posted just a few paragraphs of a Bloomberg article with the excised subsection. It's a long article. Fed denies Bernanke attends Bilderberg. Now, when you actually go to the article, it says Goldman Sachs may explain PPT's vanishing act, Caroline Baum. And then and they say, where's the plunge protection team? Why aren't they propping up? Where's the Federal Reserve rigging markets? And then you read down into the article, and it's like, maybe people are upset there's a world government. Maybe there's something to this. Maybe they are destroying the economy by design. Maybe it's all true. You know, where's Bernanke? Bloomberg called, and he's in Europe, but they won't say he was at Bilderberg. I mean, this is a rout of these people, because you've got all these Wall Street people going, hey, prop up my stock market. I know it's all rigged, so rig it. You don't understand. It's rigged to rob you. So, I mean, we're going to talk to Charlie Skelton for the rest of the hour here in just a moment, and then Paul Watson's coming up to sit in the last hour. Oh, this is because I think he's a great talk show host. I think he's a great political brain, and I'm going to start making Watson do weekly reports if you really want to know. Watson's been working with me for 8 years. Fabulous work over at prisonplanet.com, so he'll be sitting in the last hour today and tomorrow. Jim Tucker, who has never steered us wrong, does have Bilderberg Group sources, secretaries, assistants, financial planners, bankers. I'm going to leave it at that. Plus, he snuck in and been shot at and stolen the trash many times. You know, stolen their minutes, which have later been confirmed. He says they are almost completely unanimous greenlighting Iran attack. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but they need the political diversion. He also says it is a rout. They are panicking. A lot of them didn't attend. That dovetails with what Charlie Skelton said days before, that he was there when he and his wife were kicked out the last day, seeing Bilderberg head organizers, minions, with the top, director badges, talking about the dangerous rabble, the Alex Jones was bullhorning us. Did they attack? Heavens no, but that's what you get with a welfare state. They're able to have money to protest. They believe you having any job is a welfare state. They believe they own the planet. And so their global carbon tax is in trouble. They're being routed. They're not getting their global tax. A bunch of countries are saying no to the banking tax. But they are stealing tens of trillions and destroying our economy. So they're crushing us. They're still winning, but at least we're not in a coma, sucking our thumb, dreaming about angels, while the New World Order's sucking at our carotid arteries with our blood spraying all over their face. They're not having an orgy in our blood. We're at least waking up and trying to pull the succubus vampire off of our neck. Charlie Skelton, London Guardian reporter, thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you. Excuse me while I just pull this succubus vampire off my neck. That's better. Thank you.
Well, I mean, you have been near quite a nest of them hanging upside down by their clawed toes.
Is that what succubi do?
Yes, they do. They sit on your chest. You know what they do.
Right. Yeah. I've been near enough.
You're a literary man. You understand the succubus, succubi, succubus, the male and the female of the succubi clan. But seriously, you've been near the brain of the New World Order beast. A lot has happened. You have the floor, Herr Skelton.
Well, talking of the brain of the Bilderberg beast, we have just been looking through our photographs now, and we're a little bit behind. We've had a rather difficult technical day, I would say. It's taken me all of today to fail to file 10 amazing photographs to The Guardian. We've got many more.
Yeah, you weren't able to get us photos through.
Sorry, we've just had. Honestly, I don't quite know what's happening. We feel a little bit cursed today. I don't know if anyone else has had technical problems, but yeah.
Well, let me tell you, when I was at Bilderberg 2008, my phone kept messing up, and then I called my wife, and talked to her, and then they called her back and said what I had just talked to her about, and it was the Bilderberg boys.
We had people here that their GPS didn't work. They turned up in town and it just suddenly stopped. But anyway, who knows? Enough speculation. Let's turn to fact. And we were very lucky to have had an extremely brave and resourceful photographer by the pseudonym of Kiro Sabor, who has been up in the hills, and he got so close to the exiting Bilderbergers that he said he could hear them speaking. He said he could have reached out and touched the policeman, and we have got some pretty extraordinary photographs. And
too bad we didn't have a shotgun microphone where you could have picked up what they were saying.
Well, the funny thing is, it makes a mockery of any idea that the security has anything to do with protection, because this is a guy, he's never picked up a camera before in his life, let alone a gun. You know, he's a builder, and he crept through the undergrowth and sat there for the best part of 12 hours snapping photographs. So yeah, it's not about protecting them from in inverted commas terrorists or some kind of terrifying threat of rabble. It's about keeping the press away and the people ignorant. But you know that. And yeah, so we've just been looking at our photographs. Just literally turned to a photograph just now, and there in the shadows, after a little bit, we tweaked a little bit the bit of the photograph, and yeah, we saw a rather interesting fellow there, which I'll tell you about later, but I can tell you some of the names I can confirm.
No, tell me now. So you got Bernanke, and they're lying and saying he wasn't there.
We haven't got him, but we have got, we've got the nastiest man alive, perhaps. We've got Mr. Kissinger.
Oh, my gosh. Now, were you...
By the way, he's a war criminal in Spain, so brave lad to have come here and braved the possibility.
Oh, that's right. He's been indicted as a war criminal, and Herr Kissinger scurried in. Yeah, there's been a lot of speculation that he wouldn't show because, you know, why would you come to a country that has an arrest warrant out for you for war crimes? Which I think is the case. I say that. I think I've been told that's the case. That's something. No. I mean, that happened 3 years ago. Yeah. So, yeah, but he didn't seem to mind. I think he commands a lot more security and power than the average Spanish judge or policeman. So, yeah, he's pretty safe. What about Bill Gates? Did we see Mr. Eugenics?
I've not, but I have seen his chief research officer, Craig Mundy. We've got some lovely photographs of Craig. So the Microsoft were there in force this year. I believe Mundy has been before a few times, but so yeah. Anyway, so
well, you know, their whole new business model is forced inoculations and weather control, and so we know they were there pressing Spain to go ahead with the carbon tax.
Right. Well, good. I'm sorry. I said no. Terrible. Obviously, it's just awful. And I was just thinking to myself how extraordinary that they strategize in such a manner. And in fact,
we have the CEO of the biggest technology company on television saying he will control our weather. I mean, this is like a bad B movie where you have the crazy guy, I'm taking over the earth, I will control the weather.
What is that? Sorry, I wasn't aware of that. I've been studying.
Oh yeah, Bill Gates has got weather control systems, chemtrailing, geoengineering is what they call it.
I wish they could behave a little bit less like James Bond baddies. I mean, this year they were swept into an underground car park because they didn't want, you know, the few of us who were here to photograph them. I get really embarrassed. We keep seeing them sort of huddling down on the floor of limousines and holding handbags and newspapers to their faces. And I'm thinking, is that what you do if you've just been meeting in order to try and make a better world? I don't think it is. I think if I'd just been spending 4 days strategizing for the good of mankind, I'd sort of be walking out of there thinking, hey, I might get a few pats on the back. But, yeah, no, they crawl out and they slide out. And it's do you know what? My overarching emotion of this particular Bilderberg, last was probably fear. This has been absolute embarrassment. And I just find the whole thing poignant. From the point of view of I just look at them and I go, really, come on. That is not really how you behave as an adult.
Well, they know they're setting up world government, usurping liberty and sovereignty, so of course they creep around and behave like like rodents scurrying around in the dark of night from the bright lights of publicity. As David Rockefeller said in 91, they couldn't have built this world government with the bright lights of publicity, and so they're like vampires. The lights of publicity ignites them. So that's why I'm using the vampire metaphor.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Skelton, I have the American Free Press writer on, Mark Anderson. He said that it's in the local Spanish news that the police union of the Catalonia State Police are filing a complaint about being forced to guard these people.
Oh, yeah, and I reported in my last report that the head of the local police here in Sitges, I don't know if I've told you this, my brain is a little bit muddied after 4 days of madness, but they arrested a couple of guys on the hill. They took them into the police station, and the chief of police stood there and said, "We admire you. We admire what you're doing. I don't like the guys up there." And I think there's not a lot of sympathy actually from the average Spaniard, and I include the police in that. Interestingly, I had breakfast with one of the chauffeurs today. We were heading out to have breakfast at the hotel, but it was still locked.